King, here I come. Hello, sports fans, sports collectors, and all hobbyists. Welcome to the Card King Sports and Variety Show. I am your host, the Catman, Brian Cataquet, a.k.a. the Card King. We are live on ABC's KMET 1490am.com, your number one spot right here for news and talk on the West Coast. I thank everyone for tuning in this morning. And with the 2023 baseball season now underway, some baseball card news. Topps, Major League Baseball, and Fanatics unveiled what was called the Major League Baseball debut rookie jersey patch, in which many of the rookies who appeared in their first baseball game on opening day wore a patch on their jersey. And this was in cooperation with Major League Baseball and the Players Association. And after the game, each of those patches were removed from the rookie jerseys and was authenticated or will be authenticated by Major League Baseball Authentication Program employees, and then placed directly onto their rookie baseball card being produced in a future Topps set. So a very cool innovation, which was in collaboration with Major League Baseball, the Players Association, Fanatics, the Topps Baseball Card Company. And yeah, so following opening day, the patches will be transformed into a one-of-a-kind rookie card. And you can find out more about this innovation on Major League Baseball's Twitter feed, and this took place on opening day. And again, this is an effort both on the part of Major League Baseball and Fanatics and the Players Association and Topps to keep the popular baseball card business hobby flourishing in the mainstream media as well, which is really positive news. Whoever's involved in the sports card enterprise, the circle, as I like to say, the sports card circle. So that's some major news which took place on opening day. Now, some other baseball card related news, which I've been reading about. There has been talks, and I don't know how many of you know this, there has been talks about a new Adam Sandler movie that will be released. There's no specific date. And this movie is going to be a similar project, a similar concept, just like the Adam Sandler's Uncut Gems type of movie. But this movie will feature or focus on trading cards, the business of trading cards and the sports memorabilia business. And this is, again, there's no specific date. I know there's a lot of news with Adam Sandler and the Safdie brothers, who are producers and filmmakers. The Safdie brothers, they were involved in the filmmaking of Uncut Gems, which I don't know how many of you saw that, a great movie with Adam Sandler. So this is talks about Adam Sandler focusing on the mainstream booming business of sports cards and memorabilia, which since the pandemic, the last 3 years has really seen an increase in popularity, with actors and celebrities and athletes being investors in crazy amount of money in baseball cards and sports memorabilia. So that's, again, there's no date on that release with Adam Sandler, but yeah, it should be very interesting. And again, good for the sports card and memorabilia business. There's also news on a Netflix feature which involves one of the premier auction houses, Golden Sports, which is also coming to light in a Netflix series. So you can find out more about that, who's ever interested in sports card collecting and memorabilia. And this is going to be a Netflix series, so you can Google more about that information. So again, the popularity of baseball cards in the mainstream media is what is attracting so much popularity in this industry, more than I have ever seen. And I've been in this industry now going on nearly 40 years. And, there was always news on baseball cards, but the last 3-4 years it's been taken off, which is really, really good to see. And I can tell you, 2 weeks ago, I did a convention. I was at the Boston Quincy Marriott Hotel, Quincy, Massachusetts. I set up as a vendor and dealer at that convention. And I got to tell you, this was 2 weeks ago. And I got to tell you, the show was extremely, extremely crowded. There was about 4,000 visitors, fans, collectors in that Marriott ballroom, which was congested just with so many collectors. And I tell you, it's really, really good to see. The show circuit is becoming very hot again, something that I haven't seen in about 10 to 15 years. So baseball cards being in the mainstream media is attracting a lot of attention, and it is bringing out a lot of new collectors. As I mentioned, a lot of athletes are now getting involved. So it's really, really a positive time to get involved in this business, this thrilling, exciting business of sports cards and memorabilia. Some other interesting sports card news. Now, I found this rather interesting. We'll switch over to football. I found this rather interesting. Tom Brady. It's reported a few weeks ago that Tom Brady, who recently retired from the NFL, will be getting a new baseball card dedicated to him sometime this coming year. Tom Brady. Again, popularity of baseball cards in the mainstream media with the booming business the last 3 years. This Hall of Fame quarterback Brady, for those of you who do not know, was a Montreal Expo prospect. So he also played baseball and was a prospect recruited by the Montreal Expos. And there was a Topps industry conference this year, and this news was mentioned in that conference that Tom Brady will be featured sometime this year on a Bowman baseball card. And again, Brady was a 1995 Expos draft pick out of high school. And yes, there will be autographed versions. So look for that to come sometime this year. So we're going to switch over to some hockey cards. Another interesting topic which I found, and I was going over some reports on hockeynews.com, and this was rather interesting to me, which I want to go through it with you. Hockeynews.com, which I came across, they mentioned actors, and I forgot about this. They mentioned actors who appeared on hockey trading cards over the years. And I figured it'd be fun to mention some of those actors and which card sets and years you can find their appearance on, which is rather interesting. So Ralph Macchio, if you remember Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, and My Cousin Vinny, he was featured on a hockey card from 1991 to 1992. It was called the 1991-1992 Pro Set Platinum, and the card number was number 295. So for you hockey collectors, if you have hockey cards stored in your attic or your basement, and you are a Ralph Macchio fan, you might want to go sort through those hockey cards that you have stored away and look for the 1991-1992 Pro Set Platinum issue, hockey card issue, card number 295. It features actor Ralph Macchio. Jim Belushi was also featured in that set as well. Jim Belushi, 1991 Pro Set Platinum card. He was number 300 in the set. Again, Jim Belushi, who hails from Chicago and is, from what I understand, a longtime Blackhawks fan. And so he was also and he also made an appearance on the 1991-1992 Pro Set Platinum card issue, and he is number 300 in that set. Mike Myers, 1992-1993. You can find his card, his appearance on a hockey card in the 1992-1993 Alberta International Team Canada, card number 14, former Saturday Night Live cast member, and you all remember him from Austin Powers. Mike Myers, also a diehard hockey fan. I understand he's a diehard Maple Leafs fan. And he also later wrote and produced and starred in a hockey themed comedy, The Love Guru. So, yeah, I mean, he is a longtime hockey fan, Mike Myers, and you could catch his card or find his card back in 1992. 1993, in which he appeared in the Alberta International Team Canada card issue, hockey card issue number 14, card of Mike Myers, actor of Austin Powers. Also, Jason Priestley, Beverly Hills 90210. I don't know how many of you remember that popular show in the 1990s. Jason Priestley was also featured on a hockey card back in 2015, 2016. The hockey card Jason Priestley was featured on is the 2015-2016 Champs Hockey Card Series or Champs Hockey Card issue. He was card number 300, Jason Priestley. Also, from what I understand, Priestley grew up playing hockey and later skated in a celebrity charity hockey game. And he played an ex-hockey player turned detective in the TV series Private Eyes, if you remember that series. He was also he also appeared Chicks with Sticks, which was released on DVD. So, yeah, I mean, he has a card issued in 2015, 2016 in the Champs Hockey Card Series set, Jason Priestley. Pamela Anderson, Baywatch. Pamela Anderson appeared on a 2010-2011 Donruss hockey card issue called Fans of the Game. She was card number 2 in the set in the series. Pamela Anderson, popular 1990s TV series Baywatch star from British Columbia, and a Canucks fan. A Canucks fan, which I didn't know, which I read about. So that's very interesting. And yeah, I mean, she appeared, for those Pamela Anderson fans that are listening to the program and you want a nice picture of her, you can actually purchase a trading card issued in 2010-2011 by Donruss called Fans of the Game. Pamela Anderson, card number 2 in that series or that set. Alyssa Milano. Now, I know Alyssa Milano is a big baseball fan. I've seen her, I've seen her around at Citi Field, Shea Stadium way back. Alyssa Milano, known for Who's the Boss? Who's the Boss? If you remember that program, she appeared on a 2011-2012 Pinnacle issue. Fans of the Game, the series is called Fans of the Game. Alyssa Milano fans out there listening to this program, if you can retrieve a card of hers on the 2011-2012 Pinnacle issue hockey series, Fans of the Game card. Alyssa Milano was featured in that card. And besides being a baseball fan, she was also a hockey fan, from what I understand. So there were different versions of her card made way back in 2011, 2012 by the Pinnacle issue. So that's very interesting. Another actor, celebrity, personality, Jay Baruchel. It's no secret that actor Jay Baruchel is a passionate hockey fan. He wrote the book Born Into It, A Fan's Life. And again, if for those of you that want to learn more about what I'm talking about here, the more information on these topics, you can go to a brilliant reference article on hockeynews.com for more information. But it's no secret that the Jay Baruchel, passionate hockey fan, Born Into It, A Fan's Life, about the Montreal Canadiens, a book which he wrote. So he also appears on a hockey card, 2010 2012 issue. It was called the Goon promotional card set. There's no number on his card, but it's a series released in 2012, a card series released in 2012 titled, or the brand name was Goon Promotional Card Series. So check that out. Wyatt Russell, son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, who starred in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier as Captain America John Walker. You can catch a card of Wyatt Russell, his appearance on a 2017 Upper Deck Goon Series, Goon, Goon. It's called The Last of the Enforcers, card number 2. Again, Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn's son, appeared on a hockey card in 2017 issued by the Upper Deck company titled Upper Deck Goon Series, The Last of the Enforcers, card number 2. Now, another card issued in 2017, Upper Deck Goon Series again. This is card number 6 of The Last of the Enforcers series. It's a card of actress Alicia Cuthbert who's a lifelong hockey fan and is married to was married. I'm not sure. I don't know her biography. I just know that she appeared on this card. Former NHL defenseman Dion Phaneuf. She also wrote a column on Hollywood Hockey Thoughts as a blogger for NHL.com. So she's a diehard, also a sports personality. She's a sports personality, diehard hockey fan, a writer, a blogger. She appeared on the 2017 Upper Deck Goon last series. It's called The Last of the Enforcer series, card number 6. And we'll end it off with Dennis Leary. If you remember Dennis Leary, comedian, stand-up comic, big time Bruins fan. He starred in the comedy Rescue Me, playing a New York City firefighter. So many movies Dennis Leary starred in. You could catch his card on a 1994-1995 BA player, card number R141 series, card number 141 series. For you Dennis Leary fans, Dennis Leary collectors, comedian fans, comedian collectors, you can catch his card on a 1994-1995 BA Players series. Dennis Leary, is card number R141 in that special series produced back in the mid-1990s, 1994, 1995. Now, also, for those listening to the program, you also know I enjoy talking about music memorabilia. I love talking with music artists who appear on this program consistently. So one thing that I did find out, which I found out to be very interesting, was a recent auction in which Bob Dylan's recording. It was a one-off re-recording of "Blowing in the Wind." It was sold, and this is an astonishing price. It was sold by Christie's in London. Again, this is a one-off re-recording of "Blowing in the Wind" by Bob Dylan. He just sold a recording in Christie's London for $1,800,000. And this is a current release from what I'm reading. The release was made in March 2021 with Dylan's longtime collaborator, T-Bone Burnett. It's the first studio recording of the song "Blowing in the Wind" since Dylan wrote way back in 1962. So this one-off re-recording, which is called "Blowing in the Wind," was sold by Christie's in London. Bob Dylan's March 2021 release for the actual figure of the actual amount was $1,800,354. Again, the release made in March 2021 with Dylan's longtime collaborator, the first studio recording of the song since Dylan wrote it way back in 1962. Very interesting. Also, another interesting the Pokemon collectors, Pokemon cards have been extremely popular the last 4 or 5 years. And a graded 9.5 Pokemon Illustrator card, which I just came to find out valued at more than $1 million, is owned by a new Raiders linebacker. His name is Blake Martinez. Blake Martinez, he owns or purchased, it doesn't say if he purchased it at an auction or he bought it privately. What I do know is that the Raiders linebacker, Blake Martinez, is a proud owner of a 9.5 graded Pokemon Illustrator card valued at more than $1 million. So yeah, Pokemon is also, I'm seeing a huge popularity amongst the youths, not only in sports cards, but in Pokemon, which is really unbelievable. Some of the prices that some of these Pokemon cards are generating. And also one of the famous YouTubers, for those of you who know, Logan Paul, he happens to have an enormous amount of Pokemon cards and an extremely expensive Pokemon collection, Logan Paul. So as I mentioned before, you have the athletes getting involved in sports cards and trading cards in general. You have celebrities getting involved in sports cards and memorabilia. You have Netflix series soon to come out regarding the sports memorabilia industry and the sports card industry, which is gaining popularity and has tremendous momentum. As I just mentioned, I came back from a show in Boston a couple of weeks ago. The show, it was in a Marriott hotel. I haven't seen a crowd like that in about 10 to 15 years. 4,000 people walked in through that door at the Marriott in Boston, and boy, did they want to spend. It was a great show. As I mentioned, you have Adam Sandler and the Safdie brothers working on a near future, I believe it's going to be a Netflix series on baseball cards and sports memorabilia. So yeah, I mean, this is probably, I would say right now in 2023, for those of you who want to invest in something else besides real estate, besides stocks, besides whatever it is that you invest in non-sports related, this is the time right now to get involved in the sports card industry, in the sports card circle. And now with the warmer weather approaching, you have the outdoor flea markets, you have the tag sales happening within the next month or so. They're going to be consistent in different states. That's where you can go bargain hunting. That's where you can find the deals. That's where I've been successful. And I've talked about it years ago on this program. That's where I've been successful in finding material. Flea markets, tag sales now with the warmer weather. And believe me, the show circuit, as I mentioned before, is coming back to life. It is jam-packed at these hotel show venues. So if you have a little bit of money, disposable income to spend, right now is the time to get involved. And I said it before. I've said it before here. The 1970s cards, if you're a card collector in all sports, hockey, basketball, football, baseball, in all sports, the 1970s cards are very affordable, and you're able to get them at a very, very reasonable price. And if you get them in decent condition, that's where you're going to make some profit on, because the baby boomers from the 50s, they're getting older. And, unfortunately, some of them are passing away. And they're getting, a lot of what I'm seeing doing these shows. I'm appearing on these show venues now, and people are bringing me collections to sell. So what I'm seeing is a lot of cards from 1970, 1971 coming my way. And that's where the items are still at a bargain price and you can profit on lucratively. So don't sleep on the 70s material, 1970 to 1979. After 1980, I would not invest. I mean, you can invest in whatever, pleases you, whatever appeals to you, but I stick to pre 1979 for profit value. So anything pre 1979, 1979, 70 to 79 right now is still at affordable price. Go out and find your 1970, 1979 baseball, football, hockey, basketball cards. They're very popular, they're affordable, and they're selling like hotcakes for me. And again, you can find them rather cheaply. Also, I want to mention May 2021st. I will be at the Fenway Card Show. There'll be a Fenway Baseball Card Show hosted in the iconic park. So I'm pleased to announce that I will be at that show May 20th, 21st. For sports card fans in the New England area listening to this program, stop by, say hello to the Card King, yours truly. I will be at Fenway Park at the card show. I believe it's hosted by Card Vault. And if I'm not mistaken, I think DraftKings has a part in that promotional venue. So the Fenway Card Show, May 20th to the 21st. It'll be fun. I'll be there with a table set up, buying your collections. For you fans listening to the program and live in the Connecticut, Boston, Rhode Island area, New York City area, please attend the show. I'll be there. Stop by, say hello to the Card King. Until next week, happy collecting to all.